All right, new games, and look at that haul. Time to pick these up with locking my knees and a quick jerking motion of my back. Oh, my back! That's not how I pick up games. Amongst all my other favorites, like mom and pop shops and Amazon and everything, I also like to go to thrift stores because you can find a lot of great deals there. I recently got to go with my teenage daughter, and trust me, doing anything with her, being a teenager, is it's magical. But I also like to take her along because it's great to show her that you can find good deals if you look hard enough. That said, we got a couple of Nintendo 64 games. For starters, NHL 99 Complete in Box, which I don't seek out sports games typically, but hey, I mean, book, box, cartridge, of course. I think I only got it for like $2 or $3, so that was nice. And then Castlevania on the Nintendo 64. And everything about this game, to my memory, was that it wasn't very good. And I was so excited when Castlevania made it to the 64. There were a lot of franchises that did not. Metroid, Earthbound, Final Fantasy, video take forever just naming them off. But it was so disappointing to finally get to play Castlevania on the 64. It wasn't very good. So that was a shame. Just for fun, I picked up a movie. It is Professor Layton and the Eternal Diva. I actually have not played any of the Professor Layton games. I would love to. I hear great things about them. But when I saw this, I think it was 50 cents. I was like, oh, why not? Just for fun. Speaking of just for fun, I got Superman Lives. It is an audiobook, the whole story of his fight to the death with Doomsday and his triumphant return. Um, I'm not that big of a Superman fan, but back in the day, I did have the comics with him fighting Doomsday, dying, and then all of the alternate super people. The Superboy, don't call me Superboy character, Steel. Oh, is that really Superman? No, it's Steel. But the Cyborg, the Eradicator, is that his name? The weird one with the funky shades. But anyway, it is actually audio cassette too. Do kids know what audio cassettes are? Check it out. Look at that. It's not like a floppy disk that we can say, oh look, it's a save button that someone 3D printed off. No, it's audio. Again, just for fun. I also got a couple of PSP games. We got Harry Potter and what is this? Warriors of Lost Empire. And I was actually able to bundle these games with a couple of others, so I did not get them for $3 and $6. But I had a little bit of buyer's remorse because of this. Both games have a new shell on the disc, on the UMD. It doesn't have that Sony one with like the little white Sony markings and everything. And I know that there's a lot of issues with those coming apart anyway, so it's probably not that big of a deal having a replacement shell, but it kind of bugs me. So I would actually be really interested to know what you guys think. Is stuff like that something that you try to avoid? Is it something that bothers you to have a replacement shell? At what point is it okay to have a replacement shell, but not a replacement label or something like that on a cartridge? Moving on, I picked up an Xbox 360 demo disc, and I try to get these just for fun. I probably won't ever play the demos. I would probably go after the games themselves. But it wasn't the case. I think these came with the magazines. Is that the case? Or do they only put those in sleeves? But it's still kind of neat to find these. Demo discs are something that I don't see a whole lot of people collecting in the future, and it might be a fun novelty to look back on. With the digital age, I mean, you really don't see demo discs at all. You just download a demo. One of the things I found were a couple of sports titles for the Sega Genesis. We got John Madden Football 92 and NBA Showdown 94. So the 90s were a great time to be a sports fan if you had a Sega Genesis. These are actually marked $3. I did not know if I wanted to get these or not, and this was a great moment with my daughter. She told me, when are you ever going to find the game complete? Because they do have the cartridge and booklets and everything, the posters, all the inserts. And when she said that, it really resonated with me. It's like, yeah, I don't want to pay $3 for a sports game, but you're right. When am I going to find the thing complete instead of just a cartridge? So I went for it. However, there is an added bonus to that. The thrift store that we were at, they were having a sale, everything media-wise, so, movies, video games, all that stuff. It was actually half price. One of the things I had been eyeballing was Paper Mario Color Splash on the Wii U. Of course, they have it for $30, but I got it for half price, which is pretty awesome. As of today, it is summer of 2017. And this thing, whenever I see it in stores, is still $50. So getting it for 15 bucks was pretty cool. And because of that, we got a few, not necessarily throwaway games, but just, I picked them up just because they were cheap. So we got some Nicktoons Unite on PS2, and then Namco Museum on PS2, which that one may not be too bad. I see that's got Pac-Man and Dig Dug, Galaga, all the old favorites. One of the others that we got cheap was Barnyard on GameCube. That was more because we don't have a whole lot of GameCube games, and I'm trying to grow that library a little bit. One that I picked up just for my daughter, ignore the sticker price because I got it for $5, was Okami on the Wii, and she was really interested in this game, so I figured $5, why not? She can have some fun. Back to that sale, we found Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 for the Xbox One. They had it at $10, so we got it for $5, which $5 for an Xbox One game isn't too bad. Of course, the only problem is it does require persistent internet connectivity to play, which I'm kind of on the fence about that. I don't really like games like that. What happens in 20 years when you want to go back and play that because you loved it so much? And one of the last console games I got was the Dead or Alive Ultimate Collection for the Xbox 360. And I think we got this for like $2 or $3. It does have both games, if you're familiar with it. At least, I guess it's both games. I don't even know. I was just impressed that it had this cardboard sleeve still intact and that the games were in there. I would not have been surprised to find these by themselves, but getting the sleeve along with it was kind of cool. And the last thing that we got was a PC game, a big box, Star Trek: The Next Generation, A Final Unity. And my wife and I, we are big Star Trek fans. We both really loved Next Generation. And so when I saw this for $2, can you believe that? $2, I had to get it. It does have the game on that whole single disc in this giant box. And it's got the product registration card in here. Gotta have that. It also has the Portal of the Future monitor mirror, so you can energize your workstation and everything. You just clip it up on your monitor. And the funny thing is, it's kind of a selling point on the front. Free monitor mirror inside. Act now, don't delay. Operators are standing by. But the fact that it had everything in there was kind of a neat find. And oh man, look at him. Yes, look at that cast. Hey, at least Jonathan Frakes has his beard. Gotta have your beard. So anyway, again, thrift store finds. I'd love to hear if you guys ever go to the thrift stores, flea markets, whatever you call them. Do you ever get lucky and find some good games? Have you ever found that holy grail game or anything? Something that's worth $100,000 and you got it for 50 cents? Let us know. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Lassie, go tell him I need help. Why are you still filming?